The man knelt at the foot of the mountain, bathed in the last rays of the setting sun. At first his body clung to the heat exuding from the rocks around him, but all too soon that heat was gone, and a mantle of cold dropped insidiously on him like a malevolent spirit trying to crush him. A fine hoarfrost gathered on his beard and cloak as he strived mentally to maintain a body temperature that would enable him to survive the night. The holy man had warned him about this, telling him that many people had tried and failed and had been discovered by early morning pilgrims frozen solid at the foot of the mountain. His limbs had by now settled protestingly into the kneeling position. In the distance out on the plain, he could hear the occasional cough of a desert tiger stalking its prey. Closer at hand, he became aware of an all too familiar sound, a snake slithering towards him. He felt a coil of fear touch the very core of his being. God, how he hated them. His grandfather had been killed by one. He suddenly realized that the bone-chilling cold had driven the snake out from the rocks and was now seeking some warmth. His was the only warmth around. He stilled his breath even further as he felt the snake move in against his leg and stop. He fought off an urge to reach down and grab the snake and dash it against the nearby rocks, but almost at the same time he had an inner connection of some sort, and he realized that the snake was merely seeking an accommodation with another living creature and was of no threat to him. He stilled his fear even further, mentally embraced the snake, and strove with all his might to maintain his body heat against the conditions, the harsh conditions of the night. It could have been minutes or even hours later, when his mind has reached that still, small point, that he was somehow insulated from the cold, that in his head he heard the snake speak for the first time. You hope to climb the mountain in the morning, yet you carry so many fears with you, slowing you down or stopping you completely. Look at all the things from your past life, the good and the bad, and select and stack them up in front of you, and select only those things which you believe represent the true identity of the person that you are right now. Do that now. Startled yet somehow accepting us, the man did this. He started accumulating, setting out the accumulated events and elements and pivotal experiences of his past life, from being a small boy all the way up to the present moment. And he saw that many of these were good. He saw his father's proud face as he managed to ride the horse after his 5th attempt, a horse that his father had given him for his 7th birthday. He saw his wedding day. He saw the birth of each of his children. He relived again the uplifting recognition of his tribe for his hunting skills. But the many destructive things that he had woven into his persona over the years absolutely shocked him. He stacked these up alongside the good things in his life, bundles of shame and fear for past deeds and perceived inadequacies, resentment and anger and even hatred nurtured for past grievances and memories, unforgiveness and an elitist view that he had of himself, regrets for the many times that he had allowed others to dictate the path of his life and that he had acceded to. In the pre-dawn stillness and mist, he became aware of the first intrusion of pilgrims passing through on the way up the mountain. With some sort of inner vision, he became aware of the incredible burdens that each carried with them with buckled and bent knees. As if by magic they disappeared into the mist, and the snake spoke again. That was you yesterday when you got here, burdened down with all sorts of worries, things from the past, things that were slowing you down and stopping you achieving the things you wanted to achieve. I want you now to abandon all of those things that are stacked out in front of you, things you don't want to take with you, and take only those things with you that will edify your life and help you to achieve in your life. Do that now. Acknowledge the sunrise and continue on to the top of the mountain. He did just that. And he was amazed at the many useless things that he had no hesitation in abandoning. Those good things that he had selected were filled with an effervescent light. And when he picked them up, he felt incredibly energized. Just then the sun rays broke through the mist, and he lifted his hands in acknowledgement. An incredible power flowed into him. He didn't see the snake go. He rose up and with quick steps started moving up the mountainside, passing those pilgrims who had gone through his camp earlier, pilgrims who now sat defeated, cursing the mountain. His offer of help turned aside with bitter and grudging looks. He finally reached his mountaintop. And when he looked out, he saw whole new vistas of mountains going higher and higher and higher. With absolute conviction, he now knew that he could climb those mountains as well. So the questions I'm asking you today are, just how badly do you want to climb your mountain? Are you willing to pay the price of actually getting there? What burdens and worries and concerns are weighing you down? Have you discovered the real, authentic you and those transformational characteristics that you will take with you to get you to the top? And finally, when you reach the top of your mountain, you will discover that it's not the journey that's important. It's what you become as a consequence of that journey. What you become as a consequence of that journey. Every success.